Yo, what's up, chat? How's everyone doing? Let me bring the music down here. Give me a second. There we go. Hopefully that's a better volume. Let's head over to face shot. Hey, the face cam's here. How's everyone doing? My dog's going crazy. My mom just got home, which means I will have to go downstairs very soon. Cause I made a bruschetta for the family, and I want to just quickly give her the first bite. You know, I made the first thing, whatever. Give her the first bite, and then I want to come back, and then I'm gonna get back to work. So let her get in first, get settled a little bit, and then I'll head over downstairs real quickly to greet my mom. But guys, how's everyone doing? Welcome to too much information. What the fuck is a bruschetta? Bruschetta, whatever the Italians call it, you know, however the fuck you call it, whatever the fuck you call it. It's that bread, tomato, basil, with some like balsamic vinegar. Bruschetta. Bruschetta. I don't know how exactly you say it, but yeah, basically just made this, and that's about it. Just ate some pieces myself. That's why I was a little late. Also got to enjoy a little bit of Coke. Ooh, some good Coke. Feeling good. Prad, you're not Italian? That doesn't matter, dude. It's all about having some culture, which you clearly lack. You gotta have some culture. A man of, of all ethnicities. A taste aficionado. Something that makes your palates dance. This is how you get women, dude. You want women in your life, you gotta do something to make their taste buds dance, okay? And that's what TraderPrad Prada does when he's cooking in the kitchen, and also when I'm cooking in the market. If you could pronounce bruschetta, it's bruschetta. It's pronounced bruschetta, okay? Deal with it. I'm always right, you're always wrong. It's as simple as that. Speaking of which, I'm gonna be right back. Yeah, I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm back. My mom enjoyed it. Had some good feeling, you know, always a good feeling to feed your family. My dad enjoyed it. My mom enjoyed it, and then I enjoyed it. Always a good feeling over there. And now, okay, time to party. Time to talk about stonks. And after I'm done talking about stonks, I have to go back and I have to make a mushroom. What was I looking up earlier? Buttery garlic mushroom. So I want to try this. However, my mushrooms at home are a lot bigger than these little baby mushrooms. So I just cut them into halves. And I'm gonna try this. Garlic. I don't have white wine. Don't think I have parsley or parlay, whatever that is. Don't think I have thyme. But I should have everything else besides that. So these three things are missing. I think I should have parsley at home. If not, I have like Indian curry leaves. For sure don't have thyme. Add an aromatic depth to the dish. Yeah, so I could just add, it is parsley, so not barley. So parsley, I think I should have parsley at home. I could switch out thyme with like curry leaves for some aromatic depth flavor. And I should be able to basically do this. Buttery garlic mushrooms. And just eat this with some white rice or something. I like to eat her with some white rice. Ooh, who's she? But yeah, eat this with some white rice or something, and then call it a dinner. My mouth is even watering thinking about it. Anyways, let's talk about stocks today. Reporting earnings after hours. Some names also tomorrow pre-market. But more importantly, we have a name reporting earnings. So some good names to keep on board. Looks like a pretty active Wednesday coming into play, but not active in the sense of not the FOMC calendar, sorry. Not active in the sense of the economic calendar. So just the crude oil inventory is sitting at a 3-star inventory, which is at 10:30 a.m. Besides that, nothing really too important for us to look out for. Thursday, you do have a very big important economic data. You have CPI on Thursday and then PCE on Friday. So very, very exciting going into the end of the week over here. Also Friday being triple witching. We'll see how active and exciting that one comes into play. But tomorrow, a little bit muted in terms of economic data. But we do have some decent names out there on the earnings board, starting with LEN, home builder. Not really moving at all here. I guess I should take that back. It actually did move quite a bit in the after hours. But on a quick glance on the daily chart, looks like it didn't really move. I got confused by the red line. We are actually down here at the blue line. So yeah, we did move quite a bit over here in the after hours, about 3.5–4% or so. Bounce off of the lows and now trying to figure out where the equilibrium of the earnings move is. Bounced right off to 110, trying to reclaim 114, 113 at the moment. And looks like a little bit of back and forth action on the home builder. And if you look at it on the daily chart, you know, that looks like they are above the 200-day moving average. Let's go check out them on a longer time frame. So slightly above the 200-day, not too far above the 200-day. Right now with the earnings report, however, they are getting below the 200-day and then getting below this high volume low. I don't know what the event exactly was, but whatever that event was over here where we bottomed out before making a run up to 134, getting below that low and staying below that will not be a good thing for Lenar. Jesus, trying to say the symbol name and then trying to say the company name, and then I just kept switching back and forth in my head as to what I was going to say, and it completely messed my head up. Lenar, L-E-N. You know, if it starts to show some weakness below this 112, which clearly we are holding above in the after hours right now, showing some weakness below that could open up some more downside on this name. So worth watching. I'll put it in my notes at the moment to keep an eye out for that 112 area, which is going to be my high inflection level. Below that, clearly we did see the stock drop down to, didn't mean to do that. Below that, we did see the stock drop down to after hour earnings low at $110. Keeping an eye out for this one. If anyone does know what that 112 level comes from, because it seems like that was a news catalyst, a little bit of volume coming into that event. We started to go down first, some volume coming in, and then some volume straight to the upside, taking us back into a little bit of a breakout type of situation, and then pulling right back over here with the earnings report. So that 112, I think it's going to give you some good trading opportunities. So keep an eye out for that boy for sure. Next is a bunch of stocks that are reporting earnings tomorrow pre-market. Oh man, the Coca-Cola is really trying to make me burp right now. JBL, a good name to keep an eye on. Last earnings report, this stock has been on an absolute heater. Right here, you can see that one. It tried to break out again, but failed on the most recent earnings report. We'll see if this double top, triple top, quadruple top, however you want to qualify this, is able to finally burst right back through. It is looking a little weak though going into the earnings report tomorrow. 3 back-to-back red days, and the candles are getting bigger and bigger on the way down here, almost like some seller knows something right before the earnings report, which is tomorrow pre-market. So it'll be exciting to see if it plays out that way. However, you know, from my memory, the stock has been very good for the long side on earnings reports. So I'll be watching to see what type of opportunities we get over there. I put GS, but GS is Goldman Sachs. What I wanted was GIS, that is General Mills. If I remember correctly, that should be General. Yeah, GIS, General Mills, which is now trading at $47. So looking for GIS, seeing if they can turn around over here on the earnings report, start to push back up to the north side. I'm guessing well below the 200-day moving average at the moment. Yeah, quite a bit of a ways away from the 200-day moving average, and for sure a name to it's not like high priority name, but for sure a name to keep an eye on. It is in the boomer names, sadly. You know, the stock has been existing way longer than I've been even born, so it is in the boomer basket. But if there is volatility, you know, there is a clear catalyst, and if there is a volatility event tomorrow off of that catalyst, then potentially some opportunities coming into play. But you can see some levels are almost obvious, right? You got a $49 area where the stock defined a bottom, and then eventually we broke down from. Even over here on the Friday 21st November, they tried to reclaim 49, they failed. Above 49 you have the 51 area, above 51 you have this 53 to 54 zone. So there's like little pockets of zones that the stock will have to really battle to go through to the north side. Also the 200-day moving average at that $51 area. So I think if we do pop here on a good earnings report, I'm not looking to take breakout longs. I'm looking to see how the stock reacts to this area. Maybe if it starts to show me buying above 51, above 52, then I'll be interested to look for breakout longs. But just off how the chart is at the moment, looking to see how the fades work from the $51, $52 zones, and how the breakout works back through the $48, $49 zone. Can we actually manage to rip back through this area and start climbing back up north side on GIS? By the way, are you taking off next week? I'm heading to PGH for the holidays. I have no clue what PGH is, but you know what? I was debating if I should or should not take some time off for the holidays. I've been debating that, so I'm not sure yet, but if I am, I will let you guys know. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot. I did not even think about that yet. I mean, I was thinking about it yesterday night, I'll be honest, but I didn't really put a thought to that, right? So, but yeah, I'll think about it. No one in USA can afford a home, so short Lennar. I agree. You know, it's houses cost a lot. Houses in Toronto, Canada, Brampton, wherever I live, you know, that everything costs a lot right now. So I'm not sure if you know, buying a house is at the top. I think the housing market has been struggling for quite some time. I think not too long ago we saw some articles floating around that you know, this is the highest number of help me with my mortgage has been Googled in the longest time, ever since the 2008 crash. So yeah, things clearly not in the right direction for home stocks and home builders, and you can see that in the stock over here, right? It's clearly selling off today in the after hours. That music ain't loud enough. I can still barely hear you. The music's too loud, really? There we go. 2% loudness. PGH is Pittsburgh, a city in Pennsylvania. Ah, okay. I know where Pittsburgh is. I just didn't know the 3-letter extension for Pittsburgh. That's all. I just didn't know the 3-letter extension. The music ain't loud enough. I can still barely hear you. Doesn't that mean the music's too loud? Am I retarded or regarded? OBS audio ducking the music thing. What does that mean, Alex? Is the audio not good for the music? You guys are messing with me right now today. And I'm easily falling for it. Add a filter to lower the sound of the song. Now you think I would know how to do that. Also, I run all of the audio input through this bad boy. So I would have to do a lot of work to do that at the moment, sadly. You guys are just having to deal with the music. That's all. Or we can turn off the music. We can turn off the music. Never mind. Yes. I think we just turn off the music and we go next. Alright. Where was I? ABM. Now that's a name that I've never really traded before, so I'm not sure what to even think about it. 30-day average volume 500,000, overall volume today 1 mil, sure, but this is not a name that I've traded before, and a very low liquidity stock. So as a day trader, I think we can kind of just ignore this one and move to some of the other stocks that have been moving recently. ANF having its first red day after some straight green days up to the north side, so potential red day 2 tomorrow to keep an eye out for. American Eagle having a rally up here, insane rally on American Eagle. Really quickly want to check out Palantir. Palantir probably worth keeping an eye out for if it starts to get above $190 whenever that happens. Just gonna quickly set an alert over there for myself. But iRobot, let's talk about iRobot real quick. iRobot pushing even more to the downside, now pushing into the 70-cent pocket area, getting below the dollar mark yesterday. We were looking for a dollar to hold, but dollar did not hold, and now we're getting below it. So how low can we go? Now the dance, the limbo dance is going to be played almost every single day, and we're gonna have to wait and figure out to see exactly how low does iRobot go, and very close to bankruptcy over here. Possible trade opportunities coming into play on a pop on iRobot for the short direction. Some news-based stocks that I wanted to quickly mention to you guys. PayPal is becoming a bank now. Not really that exciting of a news. PayPal's always been somewhat of a mediator to a bank or a partner to a bank. So now them becoming a bank doesn't really become a monumental thing. But it's a news, however, for us to bring up in this current slow time period in the market. Ford F-150. I think that one's being canceled. So Ford over here took a little bit of a negative pullback today. Pfizer had some news. I can't remember exactly what that news was, but that dropped the stock also. Trying to remember what the Pfizer's news was. ELAN. This CEO ended up buying some shares. Not often do you see CEO actually buying their own shares on the open market, and when they do, they only buy for one reason. CEO may sell for many reasons. They might sell it because they gotta buy their divorced relationship another new house because their wife is now trying to take half their money and so on. Maybe they want to buy a yacht. Maybe they want to support a side chick or something. Who knows? They might sell for millions of reasons, taxes, right? But they only buy for one reason, and that's always a good thing when they're doing something like that. So ELAN CEO coming in and buying their shares was a good news that took the stock to the upside today. Potential more upside if this news is good enough, but low volume name, not a high priority. Worth keeping an eye though, nevertheless. Circle had some news today about Visa. So Circle bouncing basically off of the IPO low and showing you some support, good support off of the IPO low area. So potentially some opportunities to look for a long coming in if we start actually peaking back above $92, $91 on the daily chart. Some potential pullback long opportunities over here too, as long as the market's not really getting too much hurt at the moment. Bitcoin showing that it wants to hold off, stay with the plan, stay with the trajectory. We'll see if it can actually manage to get back above 95. Bitcoin's obviously a little important because Circle is a Bitcoin related market. It's USDC based and so on, but it is in the same cryptocurrency market. So I think Bitcoin will be always important to keep an eye out for the sector. And based on the news and based on Bitcoin, it makes sense why we're seeing the pullback over here on Circle. But the risk reward on this trade is actually not that bad. You're buying about at $80. You're putting your stop right below $64 or even $60. You're risking about $20 per share for a potential run all the way back into 200s, 300s, somewhere down the line in the near future, right? So good opportunity setting up for swing traders, for investors, for day traders also. So worth watching, especially off of that news catalyst. Some other stocks that I always like watching, as you guys know, the large cap basket and the cryptocurrency basket of names. So looking at Bitcoin, IBIT, ETHE. Bitcoin still struggling with the 95k, so I'm just waiting patiently to see if 53, 54 eventually breaks. But if not, getting below 48 could open up some short opportunities on IBIT. That's sadly will also be exactly when Bitcoin is getting slammed to the downside. So make sure that you're actually watching how the overall spot market is moving. What's up, brother Prad? What's up, EB? How you doing, my guy? Good to see you in the chat. City going to be fine. Sadly, my TD bank has raised minimum balance and checking to $250 to avoid account fees. So I'm closing it. Isn't TD bank Canadian? Yes, and I'm so glad that they're scamming you Americans because you guys deserve it. I'm joking. It's honestly, it's your fault that TD Bank owns a lot of you American banks. Your American laws are so lenient and are the reason why the 2008 crash happened, right? Almost every single new bank opened up with these lenient laws. They were making those bullshit CDOs. They managed to package low income wage makers into fancy houses that they could not pay for, and then all things combined, one thing toppled over another, and then you had the whole housing market boom, and then the 2008 boom, and so on, right? So that was mainly because of the banking laws of America. And in Canada, it wasn't the same thing, right? It's much more stricter. We have the top 5 banks. They're all very heavily regulated by the government. The government has a step in everything that we do or say. So that sometimes is a shit thing, but overall comes out to be a profitable and a bullish thing, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy that the Canadian banks did not regulate or in the same way as American banks did, because then shit could have been way worse, in my opinion. Things could have gotten way worse. Happy holidays, Pratt. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, my dog. Happy holidays to you too, from my family to yours. But that's basically the small little watch list for tomorrow. Let's head over to the IPOs. I think there's 2 IPOs, but we're just mainly going to watch one of them, see exactly what this company does. Largest provider of medical, surgical products and supply chain solutions, serving all points of care based on total net sales of medical surgery products. So Medline Inc. Apparently 75% of their flow is open and not locked up on the IPO day. So that's going to be very interesting, potentially a very big selling opportunity for a lot of the shareholders, and which means an automatic watch on the short side for me if things set up that way. But this is a pretty big deal size company, a $5 to $6 billion company on the deal size. 179 million shares being offered to the public market. Expected to range from $26 to $30 overall. Medical instruments and supplies company, 43,000 employees, founded in 1966. I mean, what? That's like around the same age as my father almost. Pretty crazy. Medline is the largest provider of medical surgical products. We read that already. We deliver mission critical products used daily across the full range of care settings, from hospitals and surgery centers, physician offices, and post-acute facilities. Through our two segments, Medline Brand and Supply Chain Solutions, we offer approximately 335,000 medical surgery products, including surgical and procedural kits, gloves, protective apparel, urological, and incontinence care. What does that even mean? Incontinence. Wound care, and consumable lab and diagnostic products. We hold the leading position across several of our FR end markets and many of our key product families. We distribute these products through an expansive network of 69 global distribution facilities spanning over 29 million square feet of warehouse space and our owned fleet of over 2,000 MedTrans trucks, enabling us to provide next day delivery to 95% of US customers. So not only do they have a medical business, surgical equipment business, but they also do their own deliveries, beating maybe Amazon, maybe USPS, beating FedEx, beating UPS. I said USPS and UPS. So there you go. So good coverage, I guess, for themselves across the board. I think last time I checked, they did have a PE ratio, which means they do make money. 0.4 PE ratio. That is insanity. So they make money and they are trading for peanuts. An investor would love to buy up some shares on the open market if this is the PE ratio they're IPOing at, right? So pretty insane. Overall market cap is a $36 billion market cap. What is the amount of shares that the overall stock even holds? 1.32 billion shares outstanding, and they're offering 179 million, out of which I think 75 million shares, or out of which, sorry, 75% of the share pool is not locked up, so they could basically sell at the open. Very interesting how they set up that IPO. In terms of growth year over year, they are growing. They're not growing by a drastical number. The company has been existing since 1966, so I'm not expecting hundreds of thousands of percent of growth. However, they are growing on a year-to-year basis. You can see by where is it? Revenue growth year over year. Revenue over here also growing from the last time they took the number in December 2024, sorry. So looking like all things are going in the right direction at the moment. There you go. So has been growing for quite some time, and yeah, I'm overall fairly bullish on this company for tomorrow. Obviously, it depends where it IPOs. If it IPOs well above $35-$40, I think the fact that it does have that possible profit taking tendencies with the lockup period, this could have some short opportunities right off the open. But if it's not looking to be in that category, it opens up somewhere around $25 to $30, then I think looking for a long at 25 to 30 is not a bad idea on this name at all, given the PE ratio for the stock. Also, I want to quickly mention EPS. What, 69? Oh my goodness. Also want to mention that it doesn't have to bottom out at 25, 26 because it says so. It could easily go much lower than 25, 26. So just be careful for that. IPOs are one of my favorite things to trade, one of my most profitable things to trade. So I'm going to keep an eye out for this bad boy. That EPS is insane indeed. I've never seen an EPS that pretty crazy, especially for a medical company. Medline IPO emit imminent. I can buy through my public account. Should I? Is this like the pre-IPO pricing that you can buy on Robinhood and so on with the incon incontinence means can't hold your pee. Gotcha. Thank you. The PE ratio is so cheap and their EPS with that ridiculous EPS. I wonder what their dividend is. I wonder what their plans for future dividend is right now, not existent. How do they plan to keep on growing, especially in this AI world? There are a couple videos here we could potentially watch to get a little bit of a better idea of exactly how big of a company this is. You can see CNBC has been covering them quite a bit. CNBC. Wait, wasn't it SBC? Their logo changed and now it's different too. It's CNBC. It's not CSBC. Am I tripping? Or is CSBC the Canadian? I don't know. I'm tripping balls. This logo wasn't the same before. It had like a flower logo on it, wasn't it? Anyways, you can see how even CSBC, CNBC, whatever you call them, CNBC Plus, they're joining the NBC family or the Paramount partnership or something. Maybe change things up over here. Either way, it doesn't matter. You can see how they cover the IPO videos, so maybe worth watching those videos and giving you a little bit of a better idea of exactly what the companies do. I will be very interested to see how these companies will battle the AI world because a lot of the AI world has been transforming the medical industry in terms of how technology is used, in terms of how technology is used to read the reports. Even robotics are being designed to specifically stock shelves for doctors and so on. So that would basically render a lot of these companies useless if they're making these type of medical supplies where these are probably outdated and old school technology now, right? Since based on how long they've been existing in the business, if they are not actively using AI to research and development and do better themselves, they're gonna get replaced by someone like Andrew. Not that Andrew's making defense, sorry, not that Andrew's making medical technology, but the whole idea is like a private company could come in, use AI specifically designed for a medical field like Neuralink, right? Like Neuralink, and to really run you guys out of business. So I'm just having that as a thought of mind always in the back of my head. How does AI impact this business? But right now, clearly, we're still years and years and years away from that really happening and us talking about that. For now, this is still a very very cheap company for the PE ratio they're IPOing at, and their EPS is ridiculous. So looking forward to see how we end up trading this name tomorrow. What type of opportunities do we get for that name? Hey Prad, have you ever heard of Hive, Canadian site for trading private pre-IPO companies? I think I have, but I don't really like trading or using those type of companies. Um, it's always been CNBC. Then why am I thinking of CNBS or something? Maybe I used to make that joke and I'm getting confused a little bit. But they did change the logo, right? Okay, yeah, I recognize the logo change. So coming back to you, Shadow Guy. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of these third-party companies that allow you to buy pre-IPOs. Realistically, it's not actually a pre-IPO. You're just buying some bullshit synthetic pre-IPO. But I think Robinhood actually allows you to buy actual pre-IPO on the day of the IPO, or one day before the IPO comes out, but then you have limits, like you have to hold the stock for 120 days or something before you sell. If you do sell, they won't let you pre-IPO for another one. Same thing with Webull. So like the ones that actually, are real brokerages, they are regulated by the CFTC. I'm more okay with those. But the ones that are not regulated by the CFTC, or any form of regulation, and they're just synthetic bullshit IPOs that you can buy on there's another website called Notion or something, right? Notion, Hive. I hear a bunch of third party crypto companies messaging me all the time talking about their protocols also. I'm really not interested in those at all. They could go under at any day, and then you're stuck with all your money being gone. So yeah, it sounds scammy. Exactly, that's exactly the word I was trying to not use. But now that I've used it, you used it, I'm gonna go ahead and re-utter the exact same verbiage. Very scammy. I just don't like those third party things at all. I think even Robinhood has come out and said that they have a system where they do these pre IPOs like SpaceX. You could basically trade SpaceX on Robinhood through like some sort of a crypto exchange capability, or at least they were talking about it. But then instantly, public companies came out and said, "Yeah, okay, we don't like you guys doing this at all." And they're like, "Well, we're not actually letting them do it. We're just giving them a synthetic way to do it." So if Robinhood is not going to be allowed to do it, then I would really not be okay with trusting third party brokerages to do that either, right? So it's just my opinion. At the end of the day, if you believe in the strength of that product and the people who are running the company, then go for it. For example, Polymarket was not CFTC regulated. It was not regulated at all. It was completely banned in America. But I still went ahead and I traded on Polymarket almost every single day. And now look at where Polymarket is. Right now, Polymarket is a real regulated company. It's becoming legal in America. They are adding more and more markets every day. There are markets in the stock market world. There's markets in the geopolitical world. There's markets in the culture pop world. There's markets in the politics world. So you pick your niche now, and you can go ahead and trade that on Polymarket. But not too long ago, it wasn't even legal. So if you believe in the product, if you believe in the company and the people running it, I think there's nothing wrong with doing it. But I personally, it takes a lot for me to trust a third party company like that. Anyways, that's about it. I think I made a mistake in saying pre-IPO. I just meant private companies. Yeah, exactly. Pre-IPO, that's even more shady, because you're not actually owning pre-IPO shares of any company. You're just buying a synthetic company, which is even more shady. Pre-IPO, like how Robinhood does the day before the IPO, and you actually get to own the IPO shares. That's legit, right? But the pre-IPO private companies, that's a whole different deal. You're not actually owning their shares, and when they go public, your shares are not even translating into a real market, right? They're just translating into, again, a synthetic market. Who knows if they're going to be solvent enough and liquid enough to pay you out if you actually make a lot of money one day, right? So I'm just not willing to deal with all that headache. But like I said earlier, I dealt with all that headache with Polymarket, and thankfully now Polymarket is a fully legal company. It's a fully legal CFTC regulated company also. And if I want to trade IPOs, I can directly go trade it on Polymarket over here. I can try to see what IPO bracket range and price range it will open up into. Almost, you know, brain dead over here to think that I won't IPO at more than $1 trillion, right? I think it makes a lot of sense that SpaceX opens up at $1 trillion plus, and if you believe that, you can buy it for 67 cents on the dollar. And if you don't believe that, you can buy no for 35 cents on the dollar, which is even more of a steal for you. And if you believe that it doesn't IPO before 2028, you can buy that too. You can technically buy both of these or one of these, and somewhere up over here, a different one of those, and hedge yourself, and almost lock in free profits without even thinking about it. So there's tons of ways to now explore markets out there with the help of prediction markets, with the help of stock markets, that I am even more not interested in these third party non-regulated markets, and especially if they're cryptocurrency protocols like Felix protocol or something, until they get fully regulated, or show me proof of concept like Polymarket has. I'm just not that interested in those bad boys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's about all she wrote. I'm gonna go enjoy making some what was I gonna make? Buttery garlic mushrooms. So I'm gonna go enjoy making some buttery garlic mushrooms, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Keep in mind IPO tomorrow, so have some fun trading that. If you've never had experience trading IPOs, watch it. Watch this one. You'll get some experience. IPOs, like I've been saying a million times, are my favorite thing to trade. They're the best thing to trade out there. So go spend some time watching it. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two. Wish you guys the best tomorrow, and obviously tune in for the final stream of the week. And since you mentioned TH, maybe I should take time off till the end of the year and come back New Year. So maybe this Thursday will be the final stream of the year. We'll see. We'll decide once we get closer to that date. But I will see you guys all of this week for sure. So I'm looking forward to see you in the chat. Take care of yourself. Go make some money. Peace.